In a world where powers are ranked by color, green is weak, yellow is strong, and red is unstoppable. Neil had no color at all, but he was the kindest guy in school. He carried heavy equipment for teachers and always stood up for kids getting picked on. Yet despite his constant kindness, everyone walked all over him. Every single day, a ruthless yellow-type bully named Marcus slammed Neil into the gym walls, taking his lunch money and mocking him for being a useless zero. Neil never complained and never fought back. Everything changed when Marcus crossed the line. One afternoon, he trapped a small green-type freshman in the hallway, threatening to blast him with his yellow energy. Neil stepped directly between them to protect the kid, taking a brutal energy hit straight to the chest. Marcus laughed, charging up a glowing yellow fist to finish him off. Neil didn't dodge. He casually reached out and caught Marcus's heavy fist with a single hand, stopping it dead in its tracks. Suddenly, a blinding blue light shot out from Neil's eyes, blasting a violent shockwave that sent Marcus flying across the hallway. Nobody in history had ever seen a blue aura before. For 5 terrifying seconds, the raw blue energy surged completely out of control. The overwhelming shockwave slammed Marcus against the floorboards, leaving the top bully trembling in pure horror as his yellow energy vanished completely. Then, just as fast as it exploded, the blue aura flickered and vanished into thin air. Neil's body returned to normal, showing zero color once again. He stared at his own shaking hands, completely confused and terrified by what he had just done. Scared of himself, Neil ran straight down the hallway, every single student backed against the lockers, staring in dead silence as he rushed out of the building. By the next morning, news of the new blue aura had spread across the entire city. Sitting in a massive luxury office, Marcus's father watched the news video of his son getting humiliated. A dangerous, fiery red aura flared around his body, proving that he was unstoppable. He closed the TV, looked at Marcus, and growled,
"No zero type embarrasses our family. I'm handling this myself."
Neil's sudden blue aura outburst went viral across the city, catching the attention of Marcus's father, one of the most powerful red aura owners. The next day at school was completely silent. Nobody bumped into Neil, nobody made eye contact, and no bullies dared to come anywhere near him. But Neil wasn't feeling confident at all. Every afternoon after class, Neil snuck into an abandoned warehouse on the edge of town to test his power. He stood in the middle of the empty room, focusing as hard as he could, trying to make the blue light appear again. But no matter how long he stood there, nothing happened. Without the intense emotion from before, he couldn't trigger it. Suddenly, the front doors of the warehouse were blasted completely off their hinges. As the thick smoke cleared, Marcus stepped through the entrance, standing right beside a terrifying red aura man. Marcus pointed straight at Neil with a cruel smile. "That's him, Dad! Show this fake zero what happens when someone disrespects our family!" Neil backed away against the wall in pure horror. His heart pounded in his chest. As the red user stepped forward, Neil's body suddenly began to vibrate. Deep beneath his avatar, a tiny spark of blue aura started to flicker. After Marcus brought his father to intimidate Neil, they triggered a tiny spark of blue aura beneath Neil's skin. Marcus's father came closer and sneered down at Neil. "Is this the zero you were afraid of, Marcus?" He laughed. "He's nothing." Neil stared up at them, and something inside him completely snapped. He was done being terrified. A massive wave of violent blue aura exploded outward, filling the entire warehouse. Neil entered an uncontrollable rage state, his eyes glowing solid blue as raw, wild energy flooded the room. Marcus's father tried to use his red energy to block it, but the blue power completely overwhelmed him. The shockwave shattered the red aura, slamming both Marcus and his father flat onto the concrete floor. They lay there bruised and completely powerless. Neil floated over them for a brief second as the mysterious blue energy vanished, and he returned into a normal state. Terrified by the consequences he can face, Neil ran back home. The next morning at school, someone grabbed his shoulder. That was his green-type best friend, Anthony. His face looked terrified. He whispered, "Neil, I spent all night digging through the city's old archives. I found out what that blue aura actually is. The color ranking system wasn't always just yellow, red, and green. Centuries ago, there was an ancient, forgotten power rank that only the chosen ones had. It was the blue aura, and it was so strong that people considered it to be the god power. But red leaders decided to erase it from history to have the only powerful aura in the world." Before Anthony has even finished his sentence, heavy footsteps echoed down the hallway. A senior student with a bright yellow aura stepped out of the shadows. "So you're the zero type who put Marcus in the hospital. Let's see how tough you are without your little magic trick." The bully lunged forward, shoving Neil hard against the metal lockers. Panicking, Neil instinctively grabbed the bully's wrist to push him off. But the moment their hands touched, Neil's hands sparked with a dark blue glow. While defending himself at school, Neil discovered his blue aura could drain other people's powers, absorbing a high-tier bully's yellow rank. Neil rushed out through school doors and stopped. The stolen yellow energy buzzed beneath his skin like a live wire. He felt the new aura giving him physical power. Suddenly, his phone buzzed with an incoming live video feed. Pinned against the front door was Neil's father, held down by 2 towering red-type hitmen. Marcus's father leaned in close to the lens with a smirk. "Your dad is paying for your little display at the warehouse, Zero. You have exactly 5 minutes to surrender yourself, or he doesn't make it to 6. The feed cut to black. Neil stared at the dark screen full of anger. Both blue and yellow auras flared up around his body. He sprinted toward his neighborhood at insane speed, ready for a brutal fight to save his dad. But when Neil rounded the corner to his house, he froze in shock. The two massive red-type hitmen were unconscious on the lawn, with their auras completely extinguished. Standing over them in the middle of the wreckage was Neil's dad. Neil sprinted home to save his father, only to find the red hitmen unconscious on the lawn and his dad completely unharmed. Dad, how did you destroy all of them? His father looked at him in sheer shock, his hands trembling.
It wasn't me, Neil. It was someone in a black mantle. He dropped from above, glowing with a blue aura, drained them in a second, and vanished.
Neil's mind raced. A second blue aura. He scanned the yard trying to process it when he suddenly noticed something was wrong. Marcus's father was missing. Before Neil could even open his mouth to ask where he went, a blinding flash erupted. Marcus's father lunged from behind, slamming a massive concentrated blast of red energy directly into Neil's dad's back. The sheer, horrific force of the impact evaporated his father completely in a split second. Neil froze. The world around him went dead silent. His blood felt like boiling acid. The veins in his neck bulged as his vision blurred to black at the edges. A violent, uncontrollable blue aura exploded from his body, shredding the driveway beneath his boots into dust.